about that first half, just kind of what happened there, and then maybe what the message at halftime was obviously a very different performance in the second period.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think the only really good part was probably 30 minutes in the second half. That first 25-30 minutes in the second half was probably the only really decent rugby we've played. I've always thought that, with Francois Lowe only having a pre-season, same with Faf only having a pre-season, hasn't played for a while. Damian Williams are coming back from a 6-week knee injury, same with Eben. There was a lot of things that Frans and Malcolm, we haven't coached before. So I was expecting a bit of I would say not a fluent display, but it was worse than I thought the first half, So luckily the Siya and the boys fixed it at halftime. I think we got dragged into not the pace that the Pumas play, but the pace between set phases from scrum to line-out, from line-out to scrum. That was really a slow thing, and then we struggled to switch it on again when the set phases, the ball is actually in play, and then when they fixed that the second half, I thought we were really better. So that was a chat at halftime.
Rassie, how impressed were you with the performance of your entire pack? Do you feel that they dominated the game?
From the back three?
The pack.
The pack. Yeah, Shepard, man, with Peter, haven't played 5 for a while now, with Franco playing the whole time. Obviously, there was a few lineups that was really crucial that we lost. And I think that was a combination of Malcolm not being with us in June. So there were some technical errors and tactical errors. But yeah, I must say, Eben and Peter Steff and Flo, and yes, Eben, for a guy that hasn't played, everybody was saying to me, how can we put him into this? And we just know how fit he was and how hard his work, So we were quite confident that he will come through the game. But the way he's played has surprised all of us for a guy who hasn't played so long. And then a new lose-through combination. It's always tough to just click from the moment. Frans Malherbe hasn't played for a while for South Africa. So yeah, overall I think it was a dominant performance. It wasn't maybe the most crisp and perfect performance, but it was nice and dominant. And I know the Pumas are fuming to get us back there when we play them there, so it's going to be a hell of a battle when we go there.
Rassie, just on that, both your locks, even for his first game back, he was inspired. I know he ate this morning, but and Peter Steff made 18 tackles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just amplify the mistakes, like the lineouts we lost inside the 22, which is terrible. You can't lose lineouts there. We were 5 times there, and we didn't capitalize on any of those 5 times in the first half, but then if you go to 17, 18 tackles and the carries of Eben and the tackles of Eben and Siya's carries and stuff, so you have to look at the positives as well. There's some gelling that needs to happen in this team because we did experiment a little bit again, but yes, you can't, as long as the effort are there, Brennan, that's something you can't coach. That's within a team, but technically and tactically we weren't on par today.
Rassie, you must have been happy with the way the 2 winners went, especially appearing during to Makazole.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that happened specifically. No, yes, I think, again, I'm not coming up for the guys or boosting the guys, but that first try that the Puma score was maybe just a lack again of experience of the back three and of the wingers and the outside centre. And Andre on his 3rd test or 2nd test. So we're going to make those kind of mistakes, but then when they back it up with Apiwe's finish there on the other side, Mapimpi's high ball catching and taking the guys on, and Andre's spot tackle and Luganu's spot tackle there, I think the enthusiasm and the way they grow is more positive than the mistakes they sometimes make, obviously. So yes, overall I think happy with the effort from them.
Also, you expect to see a very different challenge from what you
Yes, without a doubt. Definitely. Yeah, you can ask him, all of them who's gone there, and they know what we're about now. We will make a few changes to our team, and it will definitely be a difference to the 28 that goes on tour. There will be a few changes there, and we'll definitely select a different team. 4 or 5 changes in the team will be when we go over there. It's going to be a massive physical onslaught from their side. I know they're fuming and they want to get at us. So, a totally different challenge.
So what would be the thinking behind making a handful of changes ahead of a game like that?
Just because we're not 100% sure, Damian Darlenda wasn't available, so Andre got a good chance now. He got a good showing there. We would have liked to put Damian on at 15. But in the game was always tight, so there was never a time where we could have said, listen, okay, we're going to put you on 15, because Willie was controlling things really well. He made a few mistakes, but he was controlling things well. Elton will definitely go and tour with us. We'll play around a little bit with what we think they're going to throw at us and what we think is the best team to handle that. We thought it was the best team with growth towards the World Cup, trying a few things that we could here at home. But, going there, I don't think we've got the luxury of experimenting too much.
Coach, which aspects of your game that you maybe still like to improve on?
No, look, like they bite hard at the breakdown, and I think that at times we were awesome at the breakdown, where we were so low and in there first, and I think sometimes we were so aggressive that we cleaned past the ball and the ball was exposed. It wasn't definitely not a lack of body height and aggression, that it was more that we almost cleaned too hard and the ball was available, and Faf maybe wasn't always there as quickly as it could have been. So there's a little technical change we'll have to make at the breakdown, which we'll have to improve. Then again, from turnover ball, our scramble defense wasn't what it could be. We couldn't slow it down immediately when they got turnover ball. And I think the biggest thing that we were frustrated with was all the entries we had into the 22. We didn't capitalize on that, and they pounced on every single one they had in the first half. So a lot of work. Those are three that I'm naming now, but there's a lot of work that we will have to work on.
Rassie is under goalkeeping a bit of concern.
Yeah, it was obvious that I don't know how many points did he miss.
2 out of 7.
How many?
2 out of 7.
2 out of 7. So I'm going to lie if I say to you I'm happy with his goal kicking, and he will tell you straight up, listen, he's not happy with his goal kicking. But you will work on that and he'll come back. Bowden Barrett this morning missed 2-3 in front of the poles, and he made up with 2 or 3 great tries. So yes, it wasn't a great game for it at the office, but he'll admit it, we'll admit it, and he'll work at it and he'll get it right.
Rassie, what did you make of the
Your assessment of the game, and what are you going to have to do in a week when you travel and then arrive in Argentina to ensure that you can continue with this momentum?
I think we didn't start the way we wanted it to. I think the biggest thing from us players that we weren't happy with, and something that we were talking about before the game, is obviously our discipline. I think that took us a bit behind, and I think, like Coach said, our execution, we had a couple of opportunities in the 22 and we couldn't execute on that. And for us now, I think the most important thing is recovery. We're going to make sure that we recover and look hard at the game and make sure we prepare ourselves for next week.
Rassie, what did you make of the balance of the this year? It was everybody talked about it beforehand. Did you feel that also Siya played much better in the 7 jersey? How do you feel about that balance?
I think he had a solid game. I think Warren had, for a guy who hasn't played under us as a coaching staff, it's the first time he's played under us. Same with Francois Lowe, it's been years since I've coached him before. So it was a totally rejigged against a very settled Puma team. I think they're very settled. We all know that they played together for months and years now. So there was hiccups here and there, but I think that loose three has a good future. Thinking about Dwayne coming in, it's a pity Carl Brink is injured now, and Marco couldn't get longer game time in there. Jean-Luc is still in the mix. There's still the Dan and the Noche. Peter Steff can still go to blindside flank. So we can bulk it up a little bit still, but we also can make some more speed in the breakdown. Today's breakdown had a lot of speed. On the breakdown, loose forward three had a lot of speed, and I think that helped us a lot today. So it's different attributes for different games, but I think it was a solid performance.
Rassie, you haven't taken the team to Argentina yet, but Springboks have struggled in the past. What do you need to do different?
Yes, Bren, I know it's going to be tough. I know they'll be up for it. We're traveling a day later than them, which has some benefits for us, but obviously then it's a day later. But there's valid reasons why we're only traveling on Monday. It gives us another day to analyze, to make sure we get the right guys on the park with the team selection, to do our video sessions, our reviews, our one-on-one. So we'll utilize that well. But they've always been tough there. But again, we got 5 points out of this first game. Not the most beautiful and perfect game, but we're in there and we're in the mix now. So if we go over there and we scrape through a win, we're in the mix with the rugby championship. So as desperate as they're going to be to try and turn it around, we're as desperate to go and get a win there. So it's going to be a massive clash.
And Rassie, just sorry, and also your thoughts on the All Blacks this morning?
Awesome. We're all chasing them. Everybody's chasing them. I think we're number 6 in the world. We must chase down 5 teams. to become number 1 in the world, and we're currently 6, and we can see where number 1 is currently. You know, they smashed after being 6-0 down with minute 38, they smashed Australia at home. That's just the class they are, with 2 new debutants, and you know, it wasn't like it was a settled team. Sunnyville didn't play. There was a few changes in the pack, and new Tighthead making his debut off the bench. Just unbelievable where they are currently. So we are number 6, and we must chase down the pack 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to get to them, and there's a lot of hard work for us to get there. It's unbelievable performance by them.
Siya, was it frustrating being in control of the game, playing, and then finding yourself down at half-time?
I think the most frustrating thing was obviously the discipline and obviously the mistakes we're making or not taking the opportunities. But I think the positive thing was the intensity we had. It was there. But yeah, it was a little bit frustrating at times to when we get to the 22, you know, put the pressure on and then lose the ball when we get to the 22. And it's something that we've been working on, and obviously we need to work on some more coming this week.
So from your side, the performance of your 2 wingers, I mean, how encouraging and exciting was that from your point of view?
Yeah, it is, and the things about us as a team, you know, we always want to get better and better, and they, you know, I think they did well today, and they want to improve and get better. There's a lot more to do, and like to see like all the hard work they do during the week, you know, comes on in the field as well, you know, when we're playing. So we're really proud of them, but there's a lot more we need to do.
Rassie, it seemed like you used Billy quite a bit at first receiver, and then obviously brought Damien Phillips on at power. What's the thinking behind those 2 things?
Well, I think first of all, to be honest with you, I wanted to get a run with Damien on 15, but the game was just too tight at that stage to take Willie off, who was the more senior player in the back 3. I think if you put Damien there, it was really from 15, 14, 13, 11, just very young guys, and Damien had. So, you know, it would have been a bit risky with the game, and we wanted to get the bonus points. So, but I also wanted him to get a cap and get a feeling of the game, and obviously then he threw that intercept pass, which wasn't the greatest start. But after that, he got a great clearance. He made some good tackles after that. So, you know, even though it was 20 minutes, that gives you a cap, that gives you confidence, that makes you feel part of the team. So it was a bit risky, and I just felt he'll be much more comfortable next to Andre than playing 15 and taking one of your more experienced players. Because Andre is not very experienced, so the swap, or the risk of swapping those 2 is not as big as taking a Willie off. That was the thinking.
Rassie, we saw both Hoff and even cramping that towards the end. So recovery is probably going to play a major part this week.
Yeah, no, he's spot on. I think Siya said it. You know, that's why I think the Sunday extra will benefit us in a few ways. You know, it's recovery. We can do a lot of review tomorrow already and make sure when we get into the plane on Monday. So I think the recovery will help. If we got on a plane tomorrow evening, you know, the recovery would have been tougher. We are going to get some jet lag in terms of time zones, and without a doubt that will bite us. But in terms of recovery, it's gonna benefit us. Yeah, a guy like Evan didn't actually get cramps. Somebody stepped on his foot, but there was a few guys. Faf got cramps. Lukanju got cramps. You're right.
Okay, let's wrap up. Thank you.